Hey guys, this is WDA Punisher from Don't Revive Me Bro with the second part of the interview that I did with Zaeed and Phogue, the creators and developers for Procon, the admin tool that we use to admin our Battlefield servers. So anyway, this interview will be discussing Procon 2, the implementation of the current version of Procon Frostbite with Battlefield 4, and also their visit to DICE headquarters in Stockholm and how everything went there.
Yeah, the other thing that is in the works at the moment is Procon 2, which has been talked about for ever. And that's sort of coming along at the moment, actually. There's been a lot of work done by Phogue, so we're hoping soon, we use that word a lot, soon, we'll have something that people can actually start to have a bit of a play with.
What is you were talking about Procon 2? Can you kind of give us some of the things we might be looking forward to with it that are different than what we're currently?
The biggest, well, there's two main big things which will be really good about it. One is its ability to work outside of Frostbite games, like so the main Battlefield and Medal of Honor region, which would be really exciting. So, you know, all the other big multiplayer games like Call of Duty, things like that, we should possibly be able to get working with it. And then the other main cool thing is a bit of software Phogue's been working on, basically a natural speak engine. So, you know, at the moment, if you're in game, you see somebody, you know, doing something really dodgy, and you want to kick them. You'll type in @kick and then, you know, say Zaeed. So that's how you kick somebody. With the new one, you can say kick Zaeed for 5 minutes. You can type that in literally, and the Procon 2 will figure out what you mean and do it. You could even type in what is 4 plus 5, and it will give you the response.
Ha!
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So
now, will it have basically the same UI that we're familiar with, or have you revamped that?
That's going to have a bit of a revamp. That was probably one of the areas that took the longest, just because we've stuck with the one we've got it for so long, and we've been finding out from different people what they like, what they don't like, and yeah, toying with a few different ideas to make the experience a lot much more mainstream, and you know, or not mainstream, streamlined. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, it should be really good. Quite excited.
Oh, that does. That does sound good, especially the fact that you'll be working outside the boundaries of Frostbite.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
Definitely. Because, you know, one of the big things that I don't know how true it is, because they said this, you know, when they released Black Ops 2, that, you know, they were going to have really truly dedicated servers for PC and for consoles. You know, while that really truly didn't come to fruition, they're saying it again with Ghost.
Well, they've been saying it for Battlefield as well. There's well, that's more, I think, along their lines of they want to tie in mobile devices. I saw a little article about it the other day, which I don't know how that's going to work, but it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. Because they've been talking about that for a long time. Even back in, I think it was Unreal Tournament, they had that idea of, you know, people playing against PC and console.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, though, the point I was coming across was with Ghost, they're talking about, you know, once again, they're advertising dedicated servers. And with Procon 2 coming out, you know, that would definitely be something that they could use as a server admin tool, provided that those, you know, that we're actually going to get rentable dedicated servers for PC with COD Ghost that's coming out.
Yeah, that'd be
so
quite
that
exciting.
would definitely be good because that's a huge community.
Yeah.
At least, you know, it could be if they were to ever get the true dedication.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd really like to see, I don't know how long it was going to take, but for Xbox and PlayStation 3, or the next ones when they come out even, multiplayer servers for them, they have to, you know, manage somehow. So getting our hands on those would be quite interesting, but I don't really know what the logistics are behind that. See if we can do that one day, but that would be, you know, tripling our market share essentially.
Yeah, that would be great. The one with especially now with the PS4 and the Xbox One having essentially x86 architecture because they're using AMD APUs. I mean, it almost seemed like it would be a no-brainer for you guys.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I haven't heard anything about that, but yeah, we can certainly try and bring that up at a later date once they get BF4 fully rolled out. See what happens. But they certainly seem to be like, especially with battle log and things like that, they're trying to bring the integration in together. Like you see, your soldier stats for PS3 and Xbox coming through there. So I think there is a bit of a effort on their part to link the three. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know how fair it would be. Of course, I'm a PC. What they call, I guess they call them PC.
I'm the same.
I don't know how fair it would be to play against console. But I've seen guys on the console that are actually really good. So I'm sure they would be able to put their own fight in.
Yeah, that has always probably been the main limiting factor is the fact that we've got a keyboard and mouse and they've just got a little controller which...
With, okay, here's a question. How, Battlefield 4 comes out, and we're kind of looking at a timeline here, but you get the Archon commands from DICE. How long do you think it would take for you guys to have an update for Procon so that we would have full functionality for Battlefield 4? As, best guess.
It really depends on what they put in there. Like, if there isn't anything that wasn't in BF3, there probably won't really need to be an update at all, unless it's something pretty, like the same thing but just done completely differently. I don't think there will be many massive changes required. Most of the things, if they bring it in, like, for example...
Channel default channel
here we go, this guy will probably know a bit more about it than me, but yeah, unless they bring in something completely brand spanking new that requires a big sort of overhaul of how things are run, it shouldn't take more than a few days.
Hey, Phogue.
Hey, mate.
My name's Paul, by the way. It's nice to have you. I was talking with Zaeed about a kind of a timeline on, because he already told me that Procon, as far as basics, already works for Battlefield 4, that you've tested it and it's working good. But I was asking him, once they give you access to the Archon commands and whatever else they're going to give you access to implement with Procon, basically how long do you think it would take for you guys to have an update so that the server admins would have full?
Well, we already have something now. It's because we were recently over there with all that access that you're talking about. So we have something now that's working. I don't imagine it would take that long for other people to get up to speed with it. It's as they've mentioned, it's fairly similar to what they've already had. There's no huge protocol changes. It's it's all fairly straightforward.
Now, so who else went with you to DICE?
It was me, and I took Phil with me, Phil K, on the forums.
Okay. Now, how was that experience there?
Oh yeah, bit of fun, pretty good.
I've always been interested in going to Stockholm and seeing the studio. I've always been impressed with what they have there.
Yeah, man, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. They
Now, how was your relationship with DICE? I mean, are they usually pretty good to work with? Are they open to your suggestions? And I mean, obviously they must be willing to work with you if they invited you to.
yeah, they're fun, man. They're all pretty cool. We had a couple engineers this time around, and our point of contact. It was it was pretty nice. We sit down and have meetings with them, and pretty much throw everything around that we're talking about. Anything that comes up from the community, we'll sit down and actually have a serious discussion about. sometimes things are a little bit ridiculous that we get asked for, but we pass along everything, and yeah.
Were they able to treat you to a bit of Stockholm nightlife?
Not particularly. Like you mostly go over there and you'll pretty much be getting into the office at, like 9 o'clock or so in the morning, and then leaving, at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and going back to the hotel room and just falling asleep. So, the last night we went out and we actually had a few other guys from the company over there. They Morpheus, Ike, and Ibasi as well flew over, and yeah, we met up with them and had drinks with them and Nick, and we had a few drinks with them on Saturday night, which was good. We had a couple of the other guys there from DICE. It was good.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but how Phogue is community funded, correct?
It's always a weird thing. You see, my actual handle is Phogue, and I had a website called Phogue.net, and then people started saying, "Oh, you need to go to Phogue to ask for something or other." So that's why I changed over to the Mircon.com. Yeah, whatever you say it. Changed over to that so that way I could get my handle back. But
Okay, gotcha. Okay. See, I was part of that group. I always thought Phogue was the company.
Yeah. So that's why, because it started off like it's still up. It's just like a little personal blog that I was just sort of posting projects to, and then overnight it became like a Battlefield Archon tool. At least for Bad Company. Going back to the question, it's yes, it was crowdfunded, but then we changed over to a licensing model to sort of scrape a bit off the top of what hosts charge. So they register with us, and we take a very small cut of what they charge people.
Huh, okay.
It's enough to keep the lights on and pay for a few beers. It's yeah.
Okay, good. Well, one of the things that I wanted to make sure is that people, because I don't, you'd be surprised, but a lot of people don't know about it. They don't know about Procon. They just assume that just things happen, and server admins do server admin things, and there's no software that they use. It's kind of it's third party per se that people use to admin these servers. They just think it just happens, and and I guess I look up to you guys because you're kind of unsung heroes of the Battlefield community, because you put a lot of time into something that really helps us out. And we're, I guess as clans, we're just very thankful to have you guys around.
Yeah, cool. We have see, I think players don't know what the hell is going on. They just get kicked and killed and curse at these plugins that are running, and that's about it. But I think most of we've got from our usage reporting that comes in, we've got a fair market share of what's going on. So I think most server admins know about us. At least.
Yeah. I know that, I talked to some of my guys, and Don't Revive Me, Bro. When I told them that I had you guys and I was going to write an article on Procon, and, a couple of guys were like, well, what's Procon? And I'm like, really? Because I've been using it, like, I told Zaeed, I've been using it for, since, Bad Company 2 came out. And so I'm familiar with it. I've been, using it for, since 2010, I guess.
You poor thing, man.
Well, I love it. I love it. I've been very supportive of it the whole time. But, it's just surprised me that there was guys out there that just had no idea. And I guess, being that they haven't been server admins.
It's interesting when things like Metabands and Phogue's little VIP Hunter-Killer plugin came around, that people did start to realise there was a bit more going behind, because they, had a bit more interaction with it by being banned and kicked and all that. So But most people just don't really have anything to do with it on their side. They just go, jump in the game, play away, and leave, and it doesn't really affect them. They don't care about who runs it or all that.
That concludes part 2 of the interview I conducted with Procon creators Phogue and Zaeed. Part 3 will be posted here shortly. Continue to go to don'trevivemebro.com for updates, and also check out our social media sites at Don't Revive Me Bro on Facebook, and also at Don't Revive Me Bro on Twitter. So appreciate it, guys, and we will talk to you later. Bye.